Hi there, everybody. Well, as promised, I am going to get you a little up to date on some things with the car. We'll talk a little bit about what's going on with how it's aging and things like that, and some thoughts on recent current events. I was going to do this last week, but I forgot my microphone at home and didn't realize that till I got in the car to come home and had my notes and everything and no microphone. And there's no way you could hear me without the microphone, so we're doing it today instead. Car is just at 130,263 miles right now, and I have to say, all in all, I think it's aging very well. I can't remember exactly what the tally is of out of warranty repairs. Of course, my warranty ran out 80,000 miles ago, which is crazy to think about to me, but considering that I think my first car, which was a Plymouth Neon Sport, I think that we got rid of it somewhere around 80,000 miles because it was falling apart. And here I am 80,000 miles after the warranty, and this car's still in very good condition. Now, that's not to say that it's perfect. It's 130,000 miles. It's got some things going on right now. So I started to say is what my out of warranty costs were. As I recall, I think that I'm probably somewhere right around 1,000 to 1,500. There hasn't been anything really major except for the lower rear control arms, which I did myself, and those parts were fairly expensive. They were $350 each, and at the time I did it, and it may still be the case, they were only available from Tesla. So they just happen to be expensive parts. I am currently looking at a winter to-do list that includes replacing the two front lower control arms, the four-link and the one that the strut is mounted to. I can't remember what the aft link, I don't know. And I'm also looking at doing the camber arm and the upper arm on the back suspension. I do have coil suspension on this car, so I'm not worried about the coils as of yet. I will note that they're definitely showing their age, but they're not leaking. And by showing their age, I mean corrosion on the actual strut bodies themselves. I undercoat and paint things on all of my cars, including the Tesla, but this is a daily driver. It runs, all weather, all year long. So it's sea salt, like any other car would do. So it's got the parts like the strut body, which is steel, is rusting and flaking. But it's over 10 years old. It's the original ones. I have looked into it, and until recently, the only place to get a replacement coil strut was Tesla. I wouldn't do a salvage or used strut. I don't see the point in doing that. And the ones from Tesla were $1,200 each, which is out and out highway robbery for a strut, even with the spring on it. I mean, the whole assembly, it came as an assembly, but still, it's nuts. And since then, I've seen aftermarket OEM spec, whatever that tends to mean, available for $60, $70 each, which is more in line with what I would expect. I think my Subaru ones are like $40 each, and I think that the Mazda that we have, if I had to replace those, I think it's somewhere in that range too. So it's nice to see that there are like reasonable factory, non-factory replacement parts for that, because $1,200 each is just insane for just a coil strut assembly. So anyway, I do have some suspension maintenance to do. There's only one bushing that came up as flagged on the prior inspection as having tears on it, and that was the right front corner, and it was minor. I haven't verified it, but I believe that the rear bushings on the rear upper arms are probably a larger concern. I don't know why they weren't. Maybe they didn't look at them in the inspection, or maybe they did and they're fine and it's my imagination and they're just, I don't know. But I feel like there's some noises coming from the back suspension, and I think that that's probably what it is. And those aren't very expensive to replace. It's more, I need to line up the best source for the parts and there's basically a bolt on the front and back that have to be cut in order to replace those parts without dropping subframes. I got to make sure I can get those bolts before I cut them, because that's kind of important. So anyway, those are on my to-do list. And the back rear passenger handle still isn't working. I'm not sure exactly why. I suspect it's probably the controller, because that's what it's been on my other doors when the handles have gone bad. I've never had one of those pinion gears, or not pinion gear, but the little paddle gear. I've never had one of those break, and I think I've only had one where it actually turned out to be a wiring issue. But it's hard to say, because on that one the door controller was also bad, so it could have been a combination of of things, and I may have fixed something that wasn't broken. But again, those the $30 for those wire sensors, it's not like a big deal. Anyway, so I don't know what's wrong with the back handle, but that is the least used door. So especially now that we're empty nesters 9 months of the year, so it's sort of not a high priority to fix it. But I need to get after that. I know that rear door handle coming out is a major pain in the butt. It's been a long time since I did a back door handle. I'm not eager to, so I've been putting that off, just procrastinating. Let's see, what else is there? Oh yeah, so what is the wear and tear that I see otherwise? Well, again, this car's gone at cost. It's tires. It's typically tires are what I pay for, and that's gotten better as I've become a little bit less hoony, at least until I get the suspension back up to all new parts. Then I'll start throwing things around again. Really, the only signs of wear that this car has, this interior is not the premium interior that was offered. So the materials on the doors and stuff are not leather. They're like a more typical, like soft touch plastic or vinyl or something. And there's no signs of wear anywhere, really, on the inside, including on my B pillar, because I don't brush against it on the way in and out. I'm not that large a guy, so it doesn't really come up. The seats have covers on them. If you take the covers off, the seats look brand new. They always fit me very well, so I don't have any comfort issues there. If you look over my shoulder at the C-pillar, right about where my finger is, there's a very slight bubble in the headliner there. It's dry. It does not appear to be moisture related, which is like obviously the big thing you think with the panoramic roof, that it could be something related to that. And I have had leaks from that in the past. Not this roof. This is the fourth roof, I forget. So there is the little bubble back there, but I'm not going to do anything with that. It's fine. And if I did have to replace that trim panel, I mean, we're not talking big money. And in the seatbelt, the seatbelt's got a little, I don't know if you can see it, probably can't see it on the video, but the edges get a little bit of a wispiness to them, which only on this belt, I think, because this is obviously one that gets used every single day. So I don't know if there's much to be done about that. I've seen people sort of like use a heat gun to kind of burn off those edges. Might just be me, but I'm not interested in taking a heat gun to my seat belt. I don't want to do anything that makes it weaker. So a little bit of fuzziness, but nothing overly concerning. I don't think it's a big deal. But I do notice that my other cars that I've had at similar mileages didn't have that, so I think that's kind of odd. You would think that seatbelt material would be sort of like universally available. Now, the one thing that did happen recently is it got a software update that removed the ability or the persistence of the home link button or the home link submenu on the main display, and that has just been a vast annoyance in my daily life. The rumor online is that because I have the portrait screen, that part of that update changed the home link functionality on the landscape Model S screens, the newer Model S's, and that it somehow is causing a glitch wherein as soon as you put the car in reverse, the home link menu goes away. And of course, there's no way to bring up the home link menu once it goes away other than to put it back into neutral, park, or drive. So how this works out in daily life is I was pulling forward into my garage. Now I get in the car to leave. Of course, I have to back out of the garage. So I get in the car, turn it on, it would turn on, and the garage door buttons would appear. But as soon as I put it in reverse, they would disappear. With the prior software, that menu would stay up as long as I was in the driveway, basically, and it wouldn't disappear until I was about halfway down the street, away from my house. So I could back out of the garage and close the garage door whenever I wanted to, as long as I was kind of in range of the transmitter or the receiver. But with the software update, that changed so that as soon as I put it in reverse, the menu disappears. All right, so my workaround for the last few days has been to back into the garage. Because if I back into the garage, then when I go to leave, I'm going forward and the menu stays up because I'm in a forward, I didn't do anything to change the display. This has been a great plan, and this has been working wonderfully, with one notable exception, is that if I pull up to the house when I return and HomeLink comes up as I approach my house, I hit the button and the garage door goes up, but there's some weird bouncing thing happening between either cars parked in the driveway or the mailbox or the hill or something, so that it sometimes sends a double signal and the garage door stops like that far off the ground. And if I don't catch it in time to hit it again, then of course as soon as I put the car in reverse to back down the driveway, HomeLink menu disappears again. So then I'm back to like shifting through the gears to try and get the door to go all the way up so that I can back in. This is the kind of daily irritation that, frankly, is induced by these software updates, that after 10 years of having a discernible functional routine, now suddenly it's been interrupted for no good reason. No, just a boneheaded design decision somewhere was made that didn't take into account the older cars and how they're used. I mean, the idea that you can't close a garage door after you've backed out is just beyond dumb. And I don't know why they can't test this stuff better. And I don't know why it's taking so long to fix it. Like, fix it. Send out another update. Just fix that code and send it to the affected cars. Like, this is supposed to be this great technologically advanced company with regards to software, and yet, we're now starting the second week with this problem. That daily makes me roll my eyes and curse the OTA gods that this was the only functional change that I noticed from the last update, was the diminishing of the functionality of the car. I mean, you've got to be kidding me. So that is the dark side of OTAs. That's certainly not the biggest thing that the OTAs have gotten wrong over the years, but it's definitely an annoying one. And I don't know why they can't just, do this stuff better. And there was a tech reply that somebody had posted online about how they'd contacted service, and service said, "Oh, that's how it's designed." And I mean, well, you sure hope that it's just a mistake. If this is some kind of design, like deliberate design change, then gosh, it's dumb. And especially to change something like that after a decade without disclosing to customers what reasoning you have behind it, or maybe you don't want to have the software update, but yet there's no way to really opt out of the software update. So like, that's stupid. And then this whole thing with Elon, let's see how this develops over the next week. There's a couple things I want to ponder. But anyway, that's how the car's doing. That's how the OTAs are affecting it. And thanks for watching. Bye.